Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and I've got a hand that I want to review with you guys. But before we actually get to the hand that I want to review, I just want to go through the setup and try and explain to you guys just exactly what it was that made me play the hand the way that I did. So the hand is going to be against this guy here, this Pro 4 on. This game was played at the 25 and half fast forward tables on Party Poker, and we're just going to rush through these first couple of hands just to give you a clue of why I had the read I did on the last hand, and to hopefully explain or to help you understand or give you the same reads that I had. So I had this guy who at the time his stats ended up being 41-29 over the session, but at the time of this first hand he was up at like 50 odd, 40 odd. He was looking even more bad aggressive than he looks now. So I obviously threw at the jacks for value, the ace jack for value. We pick up a cold caller, and when he calls to whatever, we get a really good flop. But with it being multi-way, if I c-bet this, I think my hand's pretty much going to be face up. So, and the fact his hands are showing, his cards are showing this time doesn't really matter, but I should probably try and get rid of that if I can. This was show known cards anyway, that was show known cards, get rid of that. Just for the future hands, I should have done that before the video started. I think if I c-bet this board into two players, it's, in my opinion, I'm going to get too many folds. I don't think people are going to... If he's, say for example, if Nion's cold called in the big blind with pocket queens or pocket tens like that, I don't think he's going to call when I c-bet this board. This guy might have some ace X, but he's so loose and so bad. My plan was kind of just to hopefully check call down against this guy, or at least give this guy a chance to be aggressive. So unfortunately it checks through, and then 8 comes on the turn, and at this point I don't think anybody's got anything. I thought my best chance of getting on in this hand was if this guy just somehow try and encourage the guy who thinks bad aggressive to spew, and as it turned out, as you could just see his hands already, he did. Obviously we do with the nuts. I check again because at this point I'm just certain no one has the ace. He obviously shows we snap him off, whatever, it's so boring. But it sort of sets the hand up, sets the next hand up, and then the hand up after that. So we've already established this guy's capable of some kind of spew if he's induced. So then we get the next hand. It's a very similar hand. We 3-bet for value. He doesn't fold, which was a common theme. And then we flop really, really quite good. I think we're miles ahead at this point. I could just bet to just get it in, bet he raises, we get it in, etc. But again, I think we're miles ahead of him. If we're not miles ahead, we're not miles ahead, we can't be miles ahead, but I think we're ahead of him. And if we're not, if he just have some kind of pair, we've got an absolute ton of equity. So I'm happy at the minute just to play bluff catcher again against somebody who I think is bad aggressive. And he bets, we just call. We turn the nuts as far as I'm concerned. Excuse me, we check. He just overbet shoves, which is kind of, it's not as a pot size bet. He just shoves for pot. We have a really easy call. We snap him off. And he turned up with sixes that time. So we've established, we've laid the ground rules. This guy is just on the spewy side, unquestionably. So then we get to the third hand. And we make a reasonably loose open in the middle position. It's not super loose by any stretch of the imagination, but it's how we don't have to open. And this time he's 3-bet us, but as you can see, he's 3-bet over a very small sample. It's high, and generally he's just bad aggressive. So at this point I think I'm behind to his range almost certainly, but I think he's so bad that we're going to still be able to turn a profit with this hand very easily against this guy. So we call, and we flop really quite well. We flop top 2 pair. I think we could raise at this point, but again, the guy's c-bet is 75% over a small sample size. And yeah, it's just 75% c over 16 hands. It's a little bit smaller than 3-bet pots, but the sample size is much smaller, so I don't take too much notice of that. We have a very easy call at this point. He we get a really good turn card. Even if we are behind now, we've got a bunch of equity. We can't fold the turn, so it's half pot bet. And then he shoves the river. So this spot again, we've got top 2 pair against a bad aggressive player. And I think it's a pretty easy call. But at the same time, it's different compared to the other 2 hands we played. And I just thought I'd run it past you guys just to see what you guys thought. Would you be calling here, given the history you've already got with these players? And we've reviewed these hands in chronological order. This isn't the first hand. This is the 3rd time we played against him. This is the first time he's been the 3-better. But not the first time he's been the post-flop aggressor. He's been the post-flop aggressor every time. So would you be snapping this off here? Would you decide, you know what, we just have to fold? This guy's sinners. Slow player twice, how likely is it to try and bluff us again, etc. Or would you just say, you know what, this guy is such a nutter, there's no way we can fold 2-paired against him, even though, you know, if he is value betting, but we're kind of not ahead of that much. I guess, you know, we're ahead of ace queen, ace jack. But if he's value betting, we're not, you know, we're not doing great. If he's bluffing, obviously we're doing fantastic. But is he really bluffing in this spot? So that's kind of the decision point I was at in the hand, and I wasn't really sure because it felt different to the first 2. I wasn't sure whether to call or not. Obviously I made the decision, I'll let you know the results later, but what would you guys do on this river against this guy given the history? Please let me have some feedback. Thank you very much, and yeah, we'll see you again soon with another video.